powerful reminder of how far we've come and how the lives that we've changed along the way. Every dollar raised today and over the past 25 years goes directly towards supporting transplant patients before and after surgery. Together, we've raised more than $40,000 to help ease the financial burden of medications, lodging, and other essential expenses. Your generosity truly makes a difference during some of the most challenging moments in patients' journey. Thank you for being here today and for your incredible support. So I did want to let you guys know that the medals that we gave out today, they were a custom medal that were created by one of our members of our team, Amber Nowinski, and her husband, Adam. Thank you very much for making those for us. I am happy to introduce Kathy Pernello, President and Chief Executive Officer of Strong Memorial and Highland Hospital. Kathy is a passionate advocate for organ donation and transplantation, and we are honored to have her here to help lead us in today's ceremony.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to this 25th anniversary of our River Run. Your presence means so much to us as we come together to support our organ transplant and donation program. Many of you were here with us yesterday over at the hospital where we recognized our donors, alive and deceased donors, with our auto walk. And we were really excited because it was 70 degrees yesterday, and we thought it might be close to that today, but not to be. And we thank all our runners for coming, runners and walkers for coming out and participating today. Wonderful community spirit, which we're just so thrilled to see. So please bear with me. This is, as Judy was mentioning, this is a milestone period for us in transplantation. 60 years ago, almost to the day, something extraordinary happened in the operating room at Strong Memorial Hospital. Two young men who were brothers made the courageous decision to undergo kidney donation and transplant at a time when the procedure was very, very new and only performed at a select group of hospitals. This transplant was a remarkable success, giving the recipient another 30 years of life in an era when access to dialysis was very uncertain. Since then, our kidney and pancreas program has provided that same second chance to more than 3,000 patients. Second chances made possible by the incredible generosity of both our living and our deceased donors. 40 years ago, Fingerlakes Donor Recovery Network coordinated its first organ donation, creating hope in a time of loss. Over the last 4 decades, they have served as the vital link between those who choose the gift of life and patients whose futures depend on that gift of life. 25 years ago, the first heart transplant was performed here in Rochester. In the early hours of that February morning, a dedicated team, after years of planning, advocacy, and determination, came together to make that miraculous moment possible. Nearly 400 transplants later, we remain at Strong, the only heart transplant center in upstate New York, providing our community with access to this life-saving care. Our liver transplant program is also the only one of its kind in upstate New York. In the coming months, it will reach an impressive milestone of 100 living donor liver transplants since the program was reestablished just 8 years ago. And frankly, since the program started in 1992, we have performed over 2,300 liver transplants at Strong Memorial Hospital. And today, that liver program stands as a destination program with patients traveling all over the country to Rochester to receive this care, particularly for colorectal liver metastases, an area where our team has developed nationally recognized expertise. And I will say that some of our liver transplant surgeons could not be with us today. Nancy's going to share remarks for them because they are doing a liver transplant as we all gather here today. organ is available, they are calling that person on the list that needs that organ. And even though they hate to miss this event, it's really important for them to be over and strong doing this transplant today.
Amen.
And this gathering is a powerful reminder of the just incredible community that has been behind every life that's been saved for the past 60 years. We honor and recognize everyone who has a role in this journey, including our donors, our recipients, our caregivers, and healthcare professionals that all work to make transplant possible. Thank you again for being here for the 25th anniversary of this river run and for the part you all play in creating brighter futures through organ donation and transplantation. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce someone very, very special who's been with us many years, Katie Scheibel, who is a liver transplant recipient of 18 years ago, who will be performing our national anthem. Thank you, Katie. Please stand, thank you.
It's all right. You're good. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Since her liver transplant 18 years ago, Katie has gone on to study music education, became a City of Rochester music teacher, wife, mother, and passionate supporter of organ donation. And Katie also told me that she's actually graduating from a master's program in 37 days, 27 days. So that's not the requirement, right, Katie? Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing your talent with us. We really appreciate you. Now, join me in welcoming Nancy Metzler, the Executive Director of the URMC Transplant Institute, to the stage. All right. I'm gonna have to. Apparently, this is not my forte. Anyway, I was saying we are a hearty bunch. I'm so impressed that you're all here in this cold, rainy, snowy, whatever day we're having. So thank you all for being here. Before I start my remarks, I have a text message from Dr. Hernandez, our Chief of Transplant, and as Kathy said. I did it again. All right. He's in the OR, and he says, "Dear organ donor and transplant families, I am so grateful for your support, your dedication, your hope,
your altruism, and your trust in our team. I would love to be with you during this cold and rainy day to give you a hug and celebrate our deceased and living donors. I am doing my second liver transplant of the weekend, and these patients need me. I feel blessed to work for you and your families at URMC, and I hope to see you soon or next year at the River Run. And he had a special message for Jess Delaney. I was planning to run with you and get a picture, but I guess I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Dr. Hernandez. So it's both a joy and a privilege to gather with you today in support of a cause that touches so many lives. In my role, I have the extraordinary honor of witnessing the impact of organ donation, seeing firsthand the hope and healing that come when someone makes the selfless decision to give the gift of life. Our entire team is deeply committed to ensuring access to the highest standard of care. Their dedication, compassion, and expertise lead to truly remarkable outcomes. I'm incredibly proud of the work they do each and every day. However, alongside these successes, there are moments that weigh heavily on all of us. There are times when, despite every effort, an organ does not come in time. These losses are deeply felt and serve as a powerful reminder of both the urgency of our mission and the critical need for organ donation. At this time, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence those who are waiting, hoping, and those who did not receive the gift of transplant in time. We'll take a moment of silence. Thank you for taking this moment to reflect and remember. We carry these individuals with us, and their stories continue to inspire our work with even greater purpose and resolve. Now it is my privilege to introduce Rob Gruenfelder, the Executive Director of Fingerlakes Donor Recovery Network, who will recognize and honor our donor families. Thank you.
Mike is perfect. I don't have to raise it up. I won't say. Thank you. It is my privilege to be here and honor the extraordinary individuals and families who have given the ultimate gift, the gift of life through organ donation. To every donor family here, we see you, we honor you, and we thank you. Your courage in the midst of unimaginable grief to honor your loved one's wish or to make a selfless choice on their behalf has brought hope, healing, and renewed life to countless others. At this time, I'd like to invite Crystal Carr to come forward and light a candle in loving memory of her son, Tal, and in honor of all deceased donors who so graciously gave the gift of life. Just 5 months ago, 16-year-old Talon passed away unexpectedly. He had already registered as an organ donor at the DMV. It was also with great courage and love that Crystal and Talon's father honored his wishes. Because of Talon's decision and his parents' support, he saved 4 lives through organ donation and improved countless others through tissue and eye donation. In fact, just before today's event, Crystal had the powerful experience of meeting one of Talon's kidney recipients for the very first time. Please join me in welcoming Crystal to tell us a little bit more about Talon.
So the mic is actually perfect for me, and I was a little worried about that. Thanks, Bob, for that introduction. So this was my son, Talon. Many of you may have seen his picture over at the Sandhart table. And if you were at the memorial yesterday at Strong Hospital, you've already heard me speak. You've heard me say that I did not sign up for public speaking on my bingo part of life. I certainly never planned for this. I took public speaking in college. It was kind of required, but certainly never expected to use it. So bear with me if I'm not quite as eloquent as some other speakers that you've heard. when you have a child, there's a number of milestones that you look forward to. Their first words and their first steps, first day of school. And then about 16 years after they're born, there's another milestone that they all go through that for us parents is both equally terrifying and liberating. And I see some of you nodding because you know that it's the day that you take them to the DMV and they go in there and they take that test and then they walk out of there with their learner's permit. And it's terrifying because I still have to remind this kid to brush his teeth and, do homework and survive as a human. And it's liberating because now you know that you're that much closer to not being the chauffeur, right? So I have been to the DMV 4 times in the last 3 years with my kids, back to back to back. So you can't see my gray hairs today because I have my hat on, but I have a lot of gray hairs from teaching these teenagers how to drive. And I was there most recently with Talon this past June. He had turned 16 in May, and so in June, off we were to the DMV, where he took and passed his written test. We went around the corner and sat down and began to fill out that paperwork. And if you've done this with your teenager, you know what I'm talking about. There's some screens and you have to answer some questions, and some of those questions are, do you want to register to vote? Do you want to be a Republican or a Democrat or an independent? Do you want to register to donate your organs? And as I had done with my other children, when it was Talon's turn, I sat down and I had that conversation with him at the DMV about what it means to be an organ donor and why that's important. And I told him that it was his choice and I would uphold his decision either way, God forbid if something like that ever happens. And look, it's starting to rain again. Are we glad we're not out there still? Talon, as my other kids before him had, selected yes, that he would like to register to be an organ donor. Now, when you're going through this with your teenagers, you don't expect that you're ever going to actually have to do this, okay? It's just kind of, part of the process. You leave, and then you get in that car, your teenager wants to drive, and you're just focused on not hitting potholes and curbs if you're driving. But 5 months later, my husband and I found ourselves sitting on a plane, desperately trying to get home to be by Talon's side. And the question of organ donation already hung heavily in the air. Are you willing to donate your son's organs? And for me, it wasn't even a question because Talon and I had had that conversation and he had selected yes. So for me, it was an automatic yes, absolutely. We will donate Talon's organs. We landed back in Rochester about midnight that night and rushed over to Strong. And I'll never forget what room he was in. It was room 12 up on the trauma floor. Raced in there, and there he was, just surrounded by all these machines and tubes and wires. And I knew the moment I saw him that what made Talon who he was no longer there. It was just his body being kept alive. And my heart shattered in that moment. But that's not mine. My heart shattered in that moment because, I knew that my little boy was gone, but I had a little bit of comfort in knowing that he was going to make a difference in the lives of others. There was a board in that room that said, my goals for today, and I wrote on that board, are to save lives. And he did. He went and he saved 4 lives. And I have no idea how many other lives he impacted because of his gift. You see, Talon is not truly gone. Neither are those your loved ones, for those of you that have lost somebody. He lives on. He lives on in his kidney recipient, and in his heart recipient, and in his liver recipient. And he lives on in all of us who choose to carry him forward. And we're really thankful that we had that opportunity to be able to make that difference for others. But thank you all for being here today, and try to stay dry, and hopefully it warms up in the near future. Thanks so much.
today, we're also humbled to be joined by over 100 other generous donor families representing 25 donor heroes. With all donor families, please rise and allow us to recognize you for your extraordinary gifts that your loved ones gave. Please stand.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to now introduce Di Jarowski, nurse practitioner.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you to all the donor families that are out there. Now, let us take a moment to recognize our incredible living donors. We offer our deepest gratitude for your extraordinary generosity. You made a truly life-changing decision to give the gift of life, and in doing so, you transformed another person's future in the most profound way. You stepped forward in the moment of need with courage and compassion, offering not just hope, but a second chance. At this time, I'd like to welcome Debbie Summers to light the candle in honor of all living donors present today. Last year, Debbie donated her kidney to the love of her life, her husband, Phil, preventing him from having to go on dialysis. This year, they are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Debbie is a retired teacher. She loves spending time with grandchildren and volunteering. Clearly, giving back is a part of who she is. Debbie lights this candle with deep appreciation for donors whose gifts of life and health continue to inspire us all. Would all the living donors present today please rise?
No, I hear you.
Your selfless act of literally sharing a part of yourself is truly extraordinary and deserving of celebration. And from all of us, we want to say thank you. Please join me in a round of applause to recognize these remarkable group of living donors again. I'd like to now introduce Sarah Kennedy, kidney transplant nurse practitioner, who will recognize our organ recipients. We are all excited for Sarah as she was selected to be part of the inaugural Donate Life New York City Marathon team.
Woo!
You can reach out to her if you'd like to know more information on her training and fundraiser journey.
Oh, look.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Guy. I'm so proud to have the opportunity to represent our transplant team and patients in the New York City Marathon in November. I'll take a picture of this in my brain and think about it when I'm deep in the pain cave and thinking about getting through less this
I was going to say, yeah.
But today,
Yeah.
I'd like to welcome Renee G.
There we go.
Renee received cancer in 2020. Her journey was not without challenges, and she ultimately required a second transplant 2 years later. Through it all, she has shown remarkable strength, resilience, and unwavering positivity. Her care team describes her as not only an exceptional patient, congratulations, it's a tough label, but also a passionate advocate for transplantation. She is supported by a loving family, including her 2 children, one of whom was so inspired by her journey that he became a nurse. Andrew now works here at Strong, and we welcome him to our family.
Renee is also a proud small business owner, running a family pizzeria, continuing to bring people together and give back to her community. Renee, please come forward to light this candle in honor of all transplant recipients, those here with us, and those we still carry with us in spirit. And I would like to invite Tracy Strand, heart transplant nurse practitioner, Dr. Gopal Ramaraju, transplant hepatologist, and Dr. Jeremy Taylor, the medical director of the Kidney Pancreas Transplant Program, to join me on stage to recognize the transplant recipients here with us today. Will anyone who has received a heart transplant please stand up? Anyone who has received their transplant in the last 1 to 5 years, please sit down. Anyone who has received their transplant in the last 5 to 10 years, please sit down. Anyone who has received their transplant in the last 10 to 20 years, please sit down. Anyone over 20 years?
Liver transplant recipients. Anyone who received transplant in the last 1 to 5 years, please, everybody who received a liver transplant, please stand up. Anyone who received a transplant in the last 1 to 5 years, can you hear me now? Yes. Anyone who received a liver transplant in the last 1 to 5 years, please sit down, please. Anyone who received a transplant in the last 5 to 10 years, can you sit down? Anyone who received a transplant in the last 10 to 20 years, please sit down. Anyone who received a transplant over 20 years ago?
And introduce the kidney and pancreas patient. Anybody received a kidney or pancreas transplant? Can you please stand up?
Oh, actually.
Anyone who received the last 5 years, can you please sit down? Anyone who received the last 10 years, can you please sit down? Anyone in the last 20 years? Keep going. 40. Thank you. We're going to keep going, but I'll jump to 48. All right. I'd like to now introduce John Hesco, our outreach coordinator for the Orleans Heart Transplant Program.
Hello, everyone. This thing on? Okay. You hear me now? I always have to keep things light here. Okay. Hello and welcome. I want to thank all of our transplant recipients for coming today and being recognized and standing up. You are really an inspiration for all of us and why all of us do these positions at the University of Rochester. But I would like to remind us that one of the most important parts of a successful transplant journey is the support person, which I personally do understand. Without it, the road to recovery would be far more difficult. Behind nearly every transplant recipient is someone, often many people, who show up day after day with love and patience and unwavering dedication. Among our community, we are blessed with many remarkable support people. And from a personal perspective, you are not just supporting your transplant recipient, you may be supporting other family members as well in your home. So give yourself some grace. You've all been doing a wonderful job. It's my honor to invite Regina Brown to the front. Is Regina here? Hi, Regina. Come on over. Thank you. Our team first met Regina when her husband Robin came to URMC for an emergent transplant evaluation following a heart attack in June of 2025. In less than a month, they moved from the initial moment to transplant surgery, a timeline that demanded extraordinary strength, courage, and compassion. Regina embodies all those qualities and more. She has been a consistent person at every appointment, thoughtful, attentive, and always an advocate for Robin. Throughout the physical and emotional challenges of recovery, she has remained a steady, calming force. Regina has dedicated herself to being the best caregiver each day, and her presence is a powerful example of love and strength that carry patients through. We are honored to have Regina light the candle in recognition of all those who support transplant recipients and living donors. Now I'd like to ask all the wives, husbands, partners, parents, children, siblings, friends, and loved ones who have supported a transplant recipient or a living donor to please rise.
I am.
We really appreciate you. We thank you. You are an essential role in every step of this journey, and no one goes through this alone, and your presence makes healing possible. So thank you all. I'd like to now welcome one of my esteemed colleagues, Megan Dirks, who is the clinical manager of the Advanced Heart Failure and Transplant Program, to the stage. Hi, Megan.
Good afternoon. This last candle to be lit is in honor of our transplant and donation team members. I would like to ask Dr. Li-Wei Chen to come forward. Dr. Chen came to the University of Rochester in 2000 to establish the heart transplant program. Building a program of this kind requires vision, determination, and unwavering commitment to patients. Dr. Chen brought all of that and more. What began as a team of just 3 has grown into a program of more than 70 dedicated professionals providing life-saving care to patients across our state. For over more than 25 years, Dr. Chen's deep expertise, gentle presence, and steadfast compassion have brought comfort and healing to so many. His patients speak of him not only as an exceptional physician, but as an outstanding human being, one who treats them with kindness, dignity, and genuine care. His impact extends far beyond the hospital walls. Dr. Chen is a founding member of Harbor House, which is a hospitality home just steps from our medical center, offering comfort and support to families who travel to be with their loved ones during times of uncertainty. He also has served on national committees and boards, helping to shape transplant policy and improve outcomes for patients across the country. While Dr. Chen is not leaving our transplant team, he is stepping into a new leadership role within the cardiac care. Li-Wei, we are deeply grateful for the decades of dedication, compassion, and excellence you have given to this program and to every patient whose life you have touched. This candle is to recognize our dedicated healthcare professionals who work hard every day to make the miracle of transplantation happen. If you're a part of the transplant or donation teams here at Strong or Fingerlakes Donor Recovery Network, please stand. Please welcome event co-chairs John Martins and Katie Dokas to the stage.
Looking for a John.
announcement. Can you wrap up first? Okay, I'll do a little bit. You can say it with me. We would like to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors. We truly appreciate their ongoing support. We would also like to take a moment to thank the Friends of Strong, especially Melanie, Emily, and Janice, as they are instrumental in making this event happen every year. To all the volunteers who are with us today, thank you for giving your time and expertise. We could not pull off this event without you. And I want to recognize one last very important group, our incredible planning committee. This dedicated team works tirelessly behind the scenes, bringing this event to life. They're a fantastic group of people from all across the hospital who volunteer their time, energy, and creativity to make today possible. It's been a privilege to work alongside them, and I'm so grateful for everything they've done. We're so glad that you have all come out today in this awful weather to celebrate the miracle of organ donation and transplantation. Thank you, and we'll see you next year.